I'm Ozzy Osbourne. Let's get trophy hunting banned.
Come on, you guys. All we do is talk about it. Let's get it done.
Ozzy Osbourne, the legendary frontman of Black Sabbath and one of the most influential figures in the history of heavy metal, has died at the age of 76. The pioneering artist passed away peacefully this morning, surrounded by family, just weeks after performing a moving farewell concert at Birmingham's Villa Park Stadium. In a statement released by his family, they said, "It is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. He was with his family and surrounded by love. The news marks the end of an era in rock and roll, bringing to a close the extraordinary life of a man whose music, persona, and sheer force of will shape generations of fans and artists alike. A farewell fit for a legend just weeks before his passing." Osbourne made a defiant and emotional return to the stage at Villa Park in Birmingham, a city that shaped his earliest years and musical roots. The final bout concert was a heavy metal spectacle, with sets from longtime friends and admirers including Metallica and Guns N' Roses. Seated on a throne, Osbourne addressed a roaring crowd. "You've no idea how I feel. Thank you from the bottom of my heart." It was a fitting send-off for a man who once howled from the depths of darkness with Iron Man and War Pigs, and who, against all odds, continued to give fans the music they loved even as his health declined in recent years. The godfather of heavy metal born John Michael Osbourne on December 3, 1948, in Birmingham, England. Ozzy grew up in a working-class family and faced hardship from an early age, but it was music, and a voice unlike any other, that would become his salvation. In 1968, he joined guitarist Tony Iommi, bassist Geezer Butler, and drummer Bill Ward to form Black Sabbath, a band whose dark, bluesy riffs and themes of war, evil, and existential dread gave birth to an entirely new genre, heavy metal. Their self-titled debut album, 1970, followed by seminal records like Paranoid and Master of Reality, featured songs that would go on to define metal itself, including Iron Man, Paranoid, and War Pigs. Osbourne's unique, haunting vocals and manic energy helped elevate the band to mythic status. He was fired from Sabbath in 1979 due to drug and alcohol issues, but that only marked the start of a stunning second act, solo success, and Crazy Train Acid Dance, launching a solo career with 1980's Blizzard of Oz. Osbourne quickly proved he was no one-trick bat. The album spawned hits like Mr. Crowley and Crazy Train, the latter of which became one of the most recognizable guitar riffs in rock history. He released more than a dozen solo albums over for decades, with multiple platinum certifications, and a dedicated fan base that grew even as the genre evolved. Osbourne also remained a relentless live performer, even well into his 70s, bringing his trademark chaos and charisma to stages worldwide. His solo career further secured his place in music history, earning him induction into both the UK Music Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, twice, once with Sabbath and once as a solo artist. The Osbournes have pop culture stardom in the 2000s. A new generation met Ozzy not through music, but through reality television. The Osbournes, which aired on MTV from 2002 to 2005, became a cultural phenomenon, showcasing the wild, often hilarious home life of the Osbourne family in Los Angeles. With wife Sharon and children Kelly and Jack, Ozzy appeared in stark contrast to the bat-biting, stage-stomping icon many knew, often bumbling around the house, searching for the remote or talking to his dogs. The show's success introduced Osbourne to a mainstream audience and reshaped his public image from terrifying metal god to endearing, if eccentric, family man. Infamy and illness through his career, Osbourne was as notorious for his outrageous antics as he was revered for his music. The most infamous story, biting the head off a bat during a concert in 1982, became both a rock myth and a symbol of his no-holds-barred approach to life. Despite the image, Osbourne was candid about his struggles with addiction, mental health, and his long journey to sobriety. In later years, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, a battle he made public in 2020. He also suffered numerous physical setbacks, including a serious fall in 2019 that resulted in spinal damage, prompting the cancellation of several planned tours. Still, he made memorable appearances, including a surprise performance at the 2020 Commonwealth Games closing ceremony in Birmingham. Another poignant homecoming, a decorated career and a career spanning more than 50 years, Osbourne received dozens of accolades, 5 Grammy Awards from 12 nominations, star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, star on Birmingham's Broad Street Walk of Stars Ivor Novello Award for a Lifetime Achievement Classic Rock's Living Legend and Godlike Genius Award from Mevan as accolades mounted. Ozzy remained fiercely devoted to his fans, referring to them as his true lifeline. A final bow Sharon Osbourne, his wife and manager, revealed earlier this year that the Villa Park concert was Ozzy's dream, a final farewell to the people and the city that made him. He wanted to do it for the fans, to give them the perfect goodbye, Sharon said at the time. Now, that final bow feels all the more profound, a celebration not just of music, but of resilience, transformation, and above all, a deep connection between an artist and his audience.